Hi Gemini, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Chandler. This is your 1111 Portal energy reading, as well as a little bit of astrology for the week for you guys. My readings are not date specific, however, my intention is to cover 1 week's time of energy and astrology. So you could say that from 1111 to 1117 is when this energy is active for you. We're going to start out with some astrology. We're going to then go into a tarot reading for you guys. This will work for you if you have a sun, moon, rising, or Venus in the sign of Gemini. Geminians, I love you guys so much. I can already feel a much more lighthearted energy than what was in Libra and Aquarius energies. So I'm hoping of that for you. You do have the ability to manifest through this energetic portal. Okay, whenever we have a numerological day like this, it always brings in a sort of vortex energy that is specific to what we're creating, where our energy lies, and what we're aligning with. And so through the tarot today, we're going to see what you're currently aligning with and what auspicious opportunities are there for you. Okay? So beginning with the astrology, we have, obviously today being number 11, 1111. This number generally represents awakenings and manifestation, clarity, communication, rapid insights. So, in simple, it is a greater awakening that we're undergoing right now. We also have Mercury retrograde, and it's currently conjuncting the sun, which is actually called a cazimi at 18 degrees. This is giving us a bit of alchemical transformation to work with on an emotional level. Because, of course, as the sun is in Scorpio, Mercury is in Scorpio, this has everything to do with those hidden desires, the things that are just beneath the surface that sometimes we don't really want to look at, right? This can involve emotional stagnation, trauma, bandages, blockages, things that we may feel victimized by or just have unclarity of. They could be lurking in the dark and we may be not sure of which way to go. As Mercury is conjuncting the sun today, I think it's going to be bringing a lot of direct and clear truths to us. This is illumination and hopefully progression on that emotional level to have movement in those areas. Though no action may take place today, your internal world may shift substantially. And I've been telling everyone this, but as Mercury transits the sun, it's a very rare astrological event actually. And if you have the right telescope, you might be able to see Mercury just passing by the sun right in front. But visually, we won't be able to see this, as obviously the sun's rays are going to completely cancel out what we can see of Mercury as it transits. And so through this energy, as Mercury retrograde and the sun connect in the sky, we're no longer at this point of stagnation or confusion. There is a larger perspective being revealed. And with this larger perspective, we may initially be taken aback by what it's revealing. What it's revealing at large may be that no one in this given situation is either in the right or the wrong. Where we may have been able to get away with viewing things as light or dark, claiming things as black and white or good or bad, we cannot do that at this point. We cannot do that right now. We're being asked to view the entirety of your situation and the fullness of the experience. And by doing that, you may see how embracing the spooky, hidden, creepy, crawly agendas and the darkness of Scorpio season and what it's presented in your life within this situation, and hopefully transform and transcend that. So it's truly the power of the sun and this larger, broader scope of the I am principle that brings into the light, quite literally, the things that are being unearthed from our subconscious and our psyches that have been long overdue. And with the power that comes from this force, with the power and the acknowledgement and the illumination, we actually have the potential to take our power back, you see. So as these spooky, hidden, creepy, crawly aspects of our emotions come up to the surface and, try to envelop us in the same old ideas that we have yet to truly integrate, the sun is actually helping us, forcing us to take a look at those uncomfortable subjects and recognize how we ultimately do have much more power than we may have been giving ourselves. The full moon in Taurus is tomorrow, 11/12, and it's trining Saturn and Pluto sextiling Neptune. So, though today and this week at large represents the greater awakening or the ultimate illumination of that which we have not been able to see or make sense of, the full moon in Taurus is actually really assisting us as a period of settling and integrating and grounding what we've recently unearthed. Taurus represents quality versus quantity. So, aspects of your life where you may have an abundance of things, but somehow feel slightly unsettled are going to be coming up. You may have a lot of options, and life, from the outside looking in, may be sweet. But if there's an aspect or quality that is lacking, the Taurus full moon is going to have us recognizing those things and asking ourselves what is in our power to integrate that which we're missing. So the Taurus energy concerns what we love, cherish, value, what we're devoted to, what gives us function and purpose. Where our value lies may also translate to our finances. You're needing to set standards for where your needs are met. Healthy boundaries are what Taurus can represent, as health is a very specific aspect of this energy. Things that encourage health are needing to be integrated. Things that are of a detriment to your health are needing to be let go of. Because Mercury is aspecting Pluto, because the full moon in Taurus is aspecting Pluto and Saturn, this is hoping to create long-lasting progress and appropriate building for the long-term future. It's very fixed and rigid energy, though, and this can influence our ideas or beliefs that we've held for a long time now. These are coming into question as we ask ourselves what we deserve. And we're actually being forced to see what we've been prioritizing. And depending on how you feel about that, you're going to be questioning your judgment. Mercury retrograde and the 11/11 portal issues are being further clarified as Mercury retrograde is forcing us to make low vibrational issues our priority right now. How bad does the situation need to get before you gain this clarity? How long can you go without resolution? How low do you have to sink before you choose to swim? And like a snake shedding its skin, sometimes this is an uncomfortable process. But if it has your awareness, remember, the sun, the greater awakening of 11/11, this rare astrological transit of Mercury and the sun, this is giving you that awareness. This is shedding light upon that which you have felt powerless within. So you do have the power to change your circumstances right now, if you choose to accept it. Now is the time to really take a look at those deeper truths of what may have been avoiding, right? What you may have been avoiding not admitting to others, potentially, but also maybe not even admitting to yourself. Issues surrounding denial and guilt may be coming up to the surface because these are the qualities of Scorpio season. These are the emotions that generally we may just feel better not touching or going without looking at. Don't pay attention to that, sweep it under the rug. But we're nearing a new decade. And what's beneath the rug is getting pretty scary ugly. And some of us may need to really take a deeper look at these things, no longer avoiding those issues. Because it's going to be very important that we realize and transform them now, because it's even more important to step into the new decade on the right foot. Taurus is about beauty. It's about luxury and material possessions and comfort. It is illuminated with the power of Mercury and the Sun in Scorpio. So yeah, it may be bringing up some of those spooky, creepy things we don't want to look at. The discomfort is the process of being more high vibrational. It's like the caterpillar coming out of the cocoon. It's not easy. You might have to pull your way out of some circumstances. But as you become more vibrational through this process, the physical reality of what Taurus energy really wants to bring you, those material possessions, the beauty, the earthly comforts, the visceral sensations, the health, and the Venusian luxury, has a chance to catch up. Inner world changes the outer world. That's what we're learning right now. So, just as Taurus represents love and beauty between two people, it can also show us how tough love with ourselves is sometimes necessary. So showing self-love by being disciplined and organized is probably the best way to go about your affairs within the next 2 weeks. Enlightenment can also come through comfort. It's funny because you may have an abundance, you may have luxuries and extravagant things and lots of options. And through these next few weeks, you may find what actually brings you comfort or nourishes your soul is not the scorpionic, lustrous, visceral desires or even the taboo side of Scorpio, what we think we want but can't have. But it could actually be something much more humble and simple than that. With fixed Taurus lunar energy, all you need to ask yourself is how you can get out of your own way. With Venus squaring Neptune, you'll draw a focus upon what is possible and what may not be real. Neptune representing awakenings or enlightenment into a deeper spiritual path through realization of your own deeper truth, a reflection. So the advice is there's a lot of illusions going on. There's a lot of foolishness happening. There's a lot of, oh, I didn't see that coming, or I wish I would have realized this then kind of energy. So as these rose-colored glasses come off about your love affairs, about what really is comforting, or about what you really desire, don't let the impossible dreams distract you from what is truly beautiful in your life. Being able to recognize true beauty as those rose-colored glasses come off may at first be what's the word I'm looking for? It may be surprising what you weren't able to see before. And that's this clarifying agent that the Greater Awakening portal, this 1111 portal, is actually bringing to you. So try not to be too hard on yourself. Of course, Scorpio season is going to want to take us really deep And if you need to, absolutely do it, but do it with power. Do it by choice. The bottom line here, Gemini, is you are not a victim. Okay? Where can you find your power? Where does your power lie? Let's see what is in store for Gemini. Show me what I need to see for Gemini. What is Gemini manifesting? I said mess. Gemini, you could feel like you're in a bit of a pickle or a mess right now. That's okay. Remember, the deeper you go, the higher you'll soar. I feel this energy, and I'm talking to you even differently than I've spoken to the other signs. It feels like there's a strong focus upon the lessons at hand. Like there's a bit of a teacher energy, lessons, like you're in school, or that you may feel like you are, and feel like there's a bit of a mystery teaching here. Seven of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. So, Gemini, I actually think that this is really good. For some of you, you are actually revisiting mistakes of the past, okay? Or things in Taurus season, or with the full moon in Taurus, that aren't going to prove as wise investments. So this may be the hardest realization for you, is reprioritizing, okay? Something that has come up recently has totally taken your mind away from money. It's totally taken your mind away from things that will last. It's taken you away from cultivating a harvest or a product that you can be proud of. There's a element of integrity that may have been lacking as well. And these are these harder truths of Scorpio season. None of us are perfect, Gemini. But maybe you've been trying to handle too much. Maybe you've acted as if you can handle this. And I think that you're realizing that you can't. You're not only realizing that you can't, but that you weren't meant to. You weren't meant to handle all of it. You've got to drop some things that actually are distractions. And there you find that golden ticket, right? When we have the Ace of Pentacles clarified, that means, all right, this is a good realization. This is actually a really good realization, because what you realize in the process is that you have something of a gift. You have something of a wham, bam, slam dunk waiting for you. But you've got to take it, right? It's being offered to you, but your mind has just been elsewhere. Your mind has just been elsewhere. And so maybe that's the greater realization. One thing is for sure, that you are being gifted an opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, this is huge. It's huge for you, Gemini. It's huge for you, Gemini. But you've been distracted with this stuff. It's competition. It's lack of integrity. It's worry and fears, stress, making those nights very long and sleepless. Dealing with people that are centered around egocentric desires, right? Am I saying that right? Like people that only have it out for themselves. A little bit of sabotage coming through as well, potentially for some of you, because they know this is what's coming to you, right? Because they know that's what you should be putting your mind toward, but instead they're playing the only game they have by distracting you. Show me what I need to see. There's a fear as well that you've already lost this opportunity for some. My ear just went deaf. My left ear just went deaf. It's a very strong vibration here. I would take that as confirmation that that's just a fear. That's just a fear you have to work through. Interesting words coming through. It feels like you're taking a big time out as well with this integration. Mercury retrograde could be hitting you guys really hard, you guys, because, I mean, in this energy, I'm getting in your energy right now. I've repeated myself probably 5 times within the last sentence. I realize this. There's something here about Mercury being your ruler, okay? Your ruling planet. Of course, it's going to really affect you guys. You guys go through this a couple times a year. I know you're used to it, but this Mercury retrograde, specifically being in Scorpio season, Lazarus season, revisiting things from the past, mistakes, and I feel like this is a bit of self-sabotage potentially coming up regarding either your finances or a larger opportunity. That is coming up here in the Taurus full moon. Some of you could have a prominent Taurus placement too, because there's a lot of Taurus energy coming out right out of the bat. That is talking about quantity over quality. You know what I mean? Whatever this is, this Seven of Pentacles, it was a bit of self-sabotage, and it could have been going on for a while, Gemini. But what this Mercury retrograde is actually helping you do, because of the intensity of the energies that we're receiving right now, it's going to be different than the previous Mercury retrogrades. It's a special Mercury retrograde for you guys, where you do really get clarity, where you do really get a new beginning. Two, in fact. The Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, this is a new beginning not only in money and home and family, potentially, a foundationalism that's going to last for a long time. It's a seed, okay? What I'm getting here is it's a seed. And when you plant one seed and you nurture it, you water it, you watch it grow, you keep it safe, right? You then have 1,000 other seeds to plant from its harvest, okay? So there's something about this specific seed that is important for you to cultivate, to nourish, to nurture, so that later down the road, when you have this new growth, that you can actually really pursue it. The Ace of Wands is a new passionate beginning. It's an endeavor. It's a great idea. It's something that you're very inspired or motivated by. And it may be a little bit of motivation from the universe too, like maybe you thought you knew what you wanted, Gemini. Maybe you thought you knew what you wanted before. But I see that really changing, and the universe is almost saying, nope, we know what you want. We know what you want, Gemini. We know what you want, Gemini. Seven of Cups on the bottom of the deck. 2 sevens, you guys. This is potentially divinely orchestrated. When we have 2 sevens, that's movement. And both of these are in reverse, meaning that your ideas that have been fixed, unchanged, unwavering, and kind of rigid are changing. And the options, the quantity over quality, the reprioritization is actually happening within you. And it's on an emotional level. The things that you wanted before, you don't want that much anymore. Protecting your assets as well. I'm just getting this. Protecting your assets. Protecting your assets. For some of you, you guys have had people who have literally taken from your harvests. Maybe you're the breadwinner, or maybe you have come into some money, or maybe you've had a stable position and yet there's no show for your hard work. Maybe there's no reward here because a lot of your money has been going elsewhere. Protecting your assets. The Ace of Wands is a tool. It's a weapon, potentially. How you use it depends on you. Show me what else I need to see. So again, I'm talking a lot, very intuitive energy for you. You're going to have a lot of insights the next 2 weeks on your own, through yourself. Doesn't feel like you're being involved with many other people, actually. And this is for a reason. Taking time for yourself. Regenerating. There's a regeneration energy coming from that card. Yeah, 10 of Swords on the bottom of the deck as soon as I stop. So like I said, there's not a lot of information coming through the cards. You guys are going very internal. I don't feel like you guys are actually sharing a lot of what you're doing. I don't feel like you're actually talking about it that much. There's a deeper internal knowing here that you have transcended some issue. It's not actually an issue anymore. You may not have animosity towards certain things. You may feel at peace already, and yet this situation simply needs to come to a close. This is transcendence. This is healing. This is regeneration and renewal. Look at that. 9 of Pentacles. You guys are going to be just fine. Going from the 7 to the 9, I really like this energy because it's no longer about them. It's much more about you. With the 9 of Pentacles, this has a lot to do with independence. Maybe some of you are entrepreneurs or looking at starting your own business. I would highly advise that. It's a very auspicious energy to do so, or at least write your business plan during this manifestation energy. You are going to be very successful this next year. 2020 is going to be a very nice year for you to gain some ground where you thought you had lost. The 7 of Pentacles typically goes from the 7 to the 8, right? The 8 is representing hard work, determination, hammering out the details, very tedious energy toward your future. And that's a very stable energy in itself. But what I see is that this 7 is taking this process of integration, right? Taking the process of integration that the universe is giving us with the Taurus full moon, a lot of earth energy coming through. Also, both Taurus energies as well as this Ace of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles plus the 1 Pentacle is the 9 Pentacles, right? Does that make sense? You guys are being given an opportunity. You guys are breaking ground, and what you're unearthing is really vital to your success in some way, shape, or form. The universe wants to give you something. It's an opportunity, but it may seem ever so slightly risky because it's simply out of your comfort zone. Remember, this is all about challenging your long-standing belief systems, fixed or rigid patterns. But with this, you really truly do make a substantial amount of progress relative to the manifestation or the action that you put into it now. Now, I know that that's kind of confusing, you guys, but it literally is so simple, and I'm just trying to find my words. So maybe, during this Mercury retrograde, it could still feel a little up in the air or aloof. This full moon in Taurus is going to be bringing down some perspective for you, but even more so, when Mercury goes direct, you guys are just going to know. You guys are just going to know that you've elevated. There's an elevation taking place. Okay? This is also a very single card. So where this is concerning a relationship for you guys, I feel like you are going to receive a very substantial and valuable opportunity or offer in love. And with that, it's not just a feeble, wishy-washy kind of thing. When they come through with the Ace of Pentacles, that means long term. I mean, that's a seed that's going to produce 1,000. Okay, it's humble or simple, but it's also very auspicious. Along with the Ace of Wands, this is a lot of passion and purpose. There's purpose behind this. They feel very inspired or motivated by you, Gemini. And so the 10 of Swords is transcending the pain. Okay, because we are in Lazarus season, remember when I say things of the past are being revisited. If you still hold love for this person, that's very nice. But I think what you've transcended even more specifically, Gemini, is the guilt, the need to suffer over this. Does that make sense? Because the 9 of Pentacles is very independent. She's single. This is Venusian Tauran energy of completions. The number 9, especially during this full moon, is very auspicious for ending certain cycles. And if this 10 of Swords is a cycle you're ending, I don't think that you're going to miss it at all. You have transcended pain. You have transcended the illusion. You have transcended the barrier between you and your success, between you and your happiness. This is all coming up very abstract for me. The Seven of Pentacles especially, there's a lot of issues surrounding this card. But it just wants to speak for itself. This is a serious assessment for you. This may feel very serious as to the priorities that the universe is literally forcing you to look at. These lower vibrational energies, I almost wanted to say entities, but that's only going to apply for a few of you. The lower vibrational energies that don't produce a harvest. And this is an imbalanced energy, so it has to move forward. It has to move forward in one way or the other. So it's this assessment period during the full moon that you really do have to look at these lower vibrational energies and question your judgment about where your value lies, where your energy goes. And if it's financial, you gotta, cancel some of those apps. You gotta, cancel some of those subscriptions. You gotta invest wisely, you know what I mean? So you're really taking a tangible notice at these things. You're really slowing down for the meantime so that you can understand where you've been. And where you're going is just going to be so distinctly different. Gemini. Eight of Wands, Judgment, and the World. Gemini, this is huge. This is very highly divinely orchestrated energy. The Eight of Wands represents that Mercury this is the Mercury retrograde card. And what did I say before? I don't even need these cards. The cards are speaking for themselves, but your intuition is just going to be so much more on point than you're used to. I really feel that. Your intuition is just so on point. You may be very intuitive and very psychic on your own, but it just seems like you're really sinking into that. You're relying more on that. Okay? It doesn't feel so much like guessing right now. It feels more like knowing right now. Knowing where to plant your seeds, where not to plant your seeds. And some of those truths are going to have to be very harsh. You're going to have to give yourself a little bit of tough love. But what it's actually showing you is the wait is worth it. What is that saying? Mercury freaking retrograde, I swear. Something is worth the wait. Ugh, why can't I think of that? You guys know what I'm saying? It's worth the wait. With Eight of Wands in reverse, this is Mercury retrograde. As soon as Mercury goes back direct, you guys, bam, bam, Judgment, the World. Judgment, the higher arcana of Libra, representing justice, karmic completion, ripened judgment, lesson learned, new levels, new insights, the observer mentality, not only that, but divinely orchestrated timing. You think this could have happened before now? No. Why? Because you weren't ready. By reprioritizing and getting these lower vibrational energies in alignment, okay? Maybe even getting rid of them altogether if necessary, is getting you in alignment with what is meant for you, what is ready for you. This is the quality here. This is the quality coming in. So you may actually be releasing yourself from quite a large cycle here. Quite a large cycle. You have these cyclical energies, aces. You have the 9 and the 10. Okay, 10 being a cyclical energy. Then you have the 20, 21 steps in progression. But then also cycle ending, cycle beginning. I mean, it's just so simple. It's just so simple. Just wait. You guys just wait till Mercury goes direct. I swear, it's going to be so good for you guys. I know we all can't wait. We're like biting at the bits for when Mercury goes back direct. But in the meantime, there's a lot of work to do. You know, Mercury retrograde is very important for you guys, as I know you all know already. It's a time of reflection. It's a time of revisiting. It's a time of waiting, of course, and you could be waiting for this new judgment to come in, and that's a process all on its own. The feelings that come up as you wait, the insecurities, the hopelessness potentially, all of the feelings that are coming up for a very specific reason, and they're helping align you with what is to come, because you are aligning emotionally and physically with your new reality. This world, it represents an entirely new chapter, elevated consciousness. This is a Capricornian energy that you only get by going through the devil. It's like, what has this represented to you? What struggles has this represented to you? What distractions? What has this truly taken from you? In this new chapter of life, in this new cycle that you're entering into and currently manifesting, I might add, you have way more options than any of these would ever have given you. Does that make sense? You could also be involved with a Libra, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Capricorn, Scorpio. And in this sense, something needs to end. Something has ended. Of course, as we're talking about all of these new beginnings, there's going to be quite a few endings as well. But this is what I think you need to focus on more, is what you're gaining from this. Because whatever process you're undergoing, you're gaining much more than you're leaving. And that's the point. That's the point of this reading. The juice is worth the squeeze. The prize is worth the wait. What you'll gain is way more than you'll lose. There's just this energy of trade-off, which is so Geminian. It's so Geminian. I love it. But yeah, I mean, this is rightfully yours. It has everything to do with your destiny and where you're supposed to be going. And so, if you don't see these manifest till the new year, I mean, that kind of looks like New Year energy to me. Or it could simply start to show in the physical or in your life while Mercury goes into post-shadow and to direct. Either way, Gemini, this is beautiful energy. I love this. Healing on the bottom of the deck, the Three of Swords in reverse. Like I said, for some of you, this is absolutely involving a twin flame or a spiritual union, soulmate at the very least, and you're over the pain. You've transcended it, and you're standing alone, and you're standing very powerful. You have found your power through this situation that really wanted to victimize you. I love it, Gemini. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and happy 11/11. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.